is the case. There we go. Except I am not seeing the chat. There we are. All right, I think we're good. How about you?
I'm trying to get the chat up here. All right, I'm in.
All right. So, hello. Good morning. Feels like this morning is a bit earlier than the other mornings. I know we left ourselves some notes from last time. I was thinking about whether or not we should watch the video before, like the last 3 minutes or so. But I was thinking, if we do that, then it sort of defeats if the notes are actually working. So let's try it without today.
Okay, we have 3 different to-do comments.
And they all say clean this.
Yeah.
Great. Well, pick one.
Well,
They're all in the same file. So let's start higher.
This one's there and this one's there. Like, that maybe doesn't make any sense that they are a few lines apart from each other.
It looks though like this top part, like that to do on 17 looks like it's kind of been done. Maybe we just didn't clean up the cleanup. These comments are also questions. This is the last chance to do something. If it fails, the ball will not be entirely solved. Try to see if the pairs. I feel like we can get rid of this, but I don't know at the moment. At this point, we have a list of pairs. All right, well, we'll keep them for now. I'm not entirely sure if they are helpful or not, but we do have an applesauce 2. Clean up these. So
I assume it's these 2 applesaucing.
Yep, and then we have a third to do. Let's go check that out. This is the interesting thing about this style of, like an hour of work a week, right? And like while we've come a very long way from where we started, it's very different than if we had actually just spent the 2 days, right? Because we wouldn't have these.
The forget and remember.
The forget remember cycles, yeah. This definitely needs to be cleaned up, so let's start here. Okay. All right, so we take the
They're all in the same file, right? It's just like applesauce 1 and 2 are right there.
Yeah, that's true. So it feels here like this J, going through J. Oh, but we start at, because here we have for each possibility, and then we get our 2 possibilities, and then we go through the remaining cells. So it almost feels like let's just try this for a second on 296. Say for each var cell 2 in Sudoku board dot get cells. This is actually going to be capital, or is it going to be? It's actually going to be cells. Do just a cell instead of Sudoku board. Get range, and then this actually is going to be actually, what we really want to say here, instead of get range, is just say for board. And then do a skip I dot, or skipped I. Yeah, that's really what we want to do. That's what they're trying to say here.
Maybe I plus 1. Not sure.
If you skip 0, yeah, you're right. Skip I plus 1.
Not worried about figuring that out because the test will tell us. We built a robot. That's programming.
So,
and this is going to be like that. Hey, here's a funny way to do this. If we write yield, okay.
You have to return a cell though. Nice. And now J start. No, don't pass an I. Pass in 0. J starts at 0. That's not a comment about you, just to be clear.
0 is a fine place for me to start.
Start from the bottom. All right. And then you can get rid of row 1, column 1 that's sitting here. And you can get rid of block index. And here you can now say if cell.row equals cell1.row. Yeah, we're going to clean that up in a second, but and then those J's have to become cell. No, you keep it for right now. Just change the J for cell2.index to index, and on the other one. And that feels like a rather large change without anything running or building or so. But I kind of think it's going to work, anyways.
I'm okay with it. It's inside my range of okay.
Yeah, it's like at the borders of mine. Oh, Ragnar, nice to see you. Okay, so hit the commit and.
There is a way that we could have done it in smaller steps, but it wasn't so much that I want to go back and do it again.
Oh, yeah. Agreed. And I really like that you just copied and pasted it into a yield return. That was a very elegant way of doing that.
Here.
Replace loop with iterable loop.
Is it a good time to make any changes here? We can.
Yeah, it's good enough for now.
Do it yield without range.
Nah, it's good enough. It's like hidden away, so I don't care.
I know, but it could be so much better. We just wrote.
Okay, go ahead. Enumerable.range from 0 to 81. Dot select cell from index. You can just do that and return that. Beautiful.
And that's substantially cleaner.
No disagreement.
And I appreciate it's hidden away, but also it felt like we had introduced a new bit of technical debt. Like, yes, that loop existed before, but
yeah, fair enough.
Making it a yield.
I'm always good with it being better. That's never something I want to like step against. Let's clean up 299. Let's do this. Sudoku board.get possibilities. Is there a Sudoku board.get possibilities that takes anything? Get cells with possibilities. Let's go check that.
So let's get possibilities, and then is that to make. That seems relevant.
So go back to where you just were. So no, go get cells with possibilities. And that takes an index, right? Yeah. So let's do, we're going to do this Sudoku board. I get possibilities that pull that out as a variable. So delete to the 299. Yeah. Delete that. Oh, that's good with me. Yeah, pull that out. Bigger.
This part.
Bigger.
Bigger.
Bigger. Yeah, that. Possibilities too.
Right. Is it plural?
I don't know that answer. That's in like the. That's a question for English majors. All right, so now I think we can do. Let's do that quick. Possibilities. 2a equal, and then check that they're equal. I like that pattern. Yep.
What did we call this?
Prep, replace, implementation.
We had a name for it last time.
I thought it was that. But we can check our Git history.
Create a prep parallel impl. That's right. Okay, that's fine.
All right. It's Mom's birthday today. If you're watching, happy birthday. She's not watching. So now let's take that possibilities 2 and do a Sudoku board.get cells with possibilities.
You want
Sudoku
here?
board, yeah. Get cells with possibilities, and then the index is going to be cell2.2 index. No. There's a get cell with possibilities that takes a index. If this one isn't it, I'm using the wrong method.
No, there isn't.
No, there was.
We were noticing that cell with possibilities has an index.
Oh, go back then. We don't have a get possibilities for a cell. We must. Scroll up. Is any digit possible? So we have an is any digit possible. Let's scroll up. Is digit possible? We don't have like just a get possibilities. Scroll up more. Let's fix that. So if we go to get is any digit possible, go to that for a second. Open that up. Is digit okay, go into that. Or get mask for digit. It's get mask for digit. Go to that. No, that's not right at all. Sorry. Is any digit possible? It is that. So get candidates. Wait, go back up one more time.
There's one here, and there's one here.
Okay. Well, so then let's make a get possibilities that takes a. I want it to take a cell. And for right now, it's going to return get candidates. What does that give us, by the way?
And candidates object.
A what?
A candidates object.
Which has a mask. So go to the masks.
There it is.
No, I mean go back to the. Yeah, there, and then. Yeah, and then take the one for the cell index. We're sort of hiding stuff into here, but I'm okay with that. So, not a dot; it's a square brackets of cell dot to index, and then do a get. So I think we have something like a mask thing. Get digits for mask. Dot get digits to masks of that. Okay, and then quick fix that so it lines up. No, I think the problem is that's a list. It's a list event, not an int. Yeah. All right. So now, if we go back to where we just were, get cells with possibility, or get possibilities for cell 2. Yeah, that's it. I mean, it's obviously not it because it's failing.
That's okay. Now it's failing.
Let's go really quickly into get possibilities one more time. Get digits for mask on the get candidates of the masks on the cell of the to index. Other than the fact that I'm obviously forgetting something. What am I forgetting? Do you see anything here that isn't what it says it is? Well, let's do this. Go back to the other one. And then copy 300.
We're not failing here.
We aren't?
We're failing.
Unexpected error. What? Wait, run that again? Are we not building or something?
Oh, yeah, it failed in here. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, we have two collections that I was trying to compare, and they're both empty.
Give me 1 second, Jay. I'll be right back.
I wonder if we have a better way to compare two collections that we like. I think the 2 array is the best choice here. I just want to see it go green.
All right.
Well, we just need a better way to compare these collections.
The 2 array, though, is definitely a better way. Oh, do a 2 string, a 2 readable string.
There we go. Okay. That's annoying. C#.
Yeah.
I would like collections to be comparable. It's a C++ background thing. Can't do it in C++. Why would you want to do it in C#? All right, what is this?
Okay, good. That makes so much more sense to me. In that case, get rid of 301. I mean, really what we just did was an extract method.
Yeah.
I thought there was going to be something smarter or better. But it's not. Okay, I think we're, oh no, we're not. So, okay, this cell row and column and block all equaling the same thing? Oh, no, wait. It's or.
Any. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know what? I'd love to pull that out anyways. I know this is stupid what I'm about to do, but can you pull the row out into a method called isSameRow? And the column into isSameColumn and block into isSameBlock. We're going to batch these little things up just because we haven't yet written the tool to auto commit for us. And then move all of them onto cell.
And because as a reader of history, it gets really tedious sometimes to make non-static.
Okay, I feel like that's a much easier way to read that intent. And now those two ifs. Well, actually, can you pull that into a variable that?
Yes.
Yeah. Is matching group. And then move that up to 303. And then combine those two if statements.
So big that merge two ifs. There we go.
And I would actually even swap those two and do the matching group first. And then I would inline.
Is this little r or big R? It is not a proven safe transformation.
Yeah, it is. Oh, interesting. Is it? I mean, the only way it's a non-provably safe transformation is if the second and would explode.
Or if there's any kind
very
of
often effect. It does.
If one of them writes a value and one reads a value, or
yeah, I'll go with uppercase R.
Yeah. And it's not on the refactoring menu. It makes no attempt to be behavior preserving.
Although, if everything is functional, it is.
Yeah. And that'd be great. I want to know when I'm in that world.
Yeah, that's a good point. If this is not equal to null and, yeah, but you're right, almost, because exceptions. I mean, a lot of times the double and is used for the short circuit capabilities.
And sometimes it's not even an exception. Sometimes it's like if the user is an administrator and like, okay, you don't want to allow them to do the second thing. It's not an exception. It's a security concern. Like there's lots of different kinds of concerns that can show up. So luckily in our case, we've got good tests.
Take 301 and inline that. Yeah, I feel like this is just clean enough. I don't care about
rename something. We don't need I anymore.
Well, I we can inline.
many places do we use this cell? A few. And cell 2. Okay.
I feel like cell 2 is a good name, actually. But then I would rename the first one to cell 1.
Yeah, that'd be fine. I could also call them cell and other cell.
Yeah, cell 1 and cell 2 is smaller.
All right.
Get rid of our to-do message.
These are only used down here. Should we move them where they're used?
They're only used where?
On 304.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
And I sure wish that was a range object, but man, I'm not interested in messing around with that.
Nope. Okay, I feel like this is good. Scroll up a little bit. Is this the whole method?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm super happy with this. Other than the tuple-y thing, but you know what I'd like to do? I'd actually like to put cell 1 and cell 2 into here.
Oh, change the tuple to be actual cells?
Well, let's start with just one of the cells to see what the impact is. So change that to a cell, and then something else is going to break. And something else is going to break. There. And so there, we do applesauce 2. Change that to take a cell. Or take the thing that we're passing it.
Yeah. I'm just telling Sharper, yes, fix the things.
And then here,
assume that's
do that.
Supposed to be cell. Actually, I don't
no,
know.
That's just that I don't know yet. But the candidates of indexes. So index 1 is a cell. So let's do index 1 dot index.
To
index. You don't have to do that on line 49 as well. And there's here index 1 dot to index. Okay, nothing there felt horrible. Would you agree with that?
Yep.
So let's go a little bit farther down this. Well, let's do let's pass it through, or commit is what I'm trying to say. No, that's not the one I want to do next.
Okay.
But we're committed. Okay, so now I want to do 228 next.
Doing that?
Yeah.
And Resharper makes this easy.
I mean, sort of.
Definitely
easier.
It could be easier. Like, oh yeah, just make this code look like that. Just make a build for me.
Okay, well, so now what's the issue? There's red somewhere.
Here. There we go.
Okay, here, yeah. So here, row 1 and column 1 become cell. Well, sure. Cell.row, that becomes cell.column.
Cell.block.
It's not block.
No.
Divide by 9 is row, cell.row. But also, don't we already have, couldn't we just replace that with row 1? I feel like if this doesn't work, we're going back and just handling that piece. This is going to be dot index or cell one dot index. Yeah. And then
where is it?
There, cell one dot index.
Nice long line.
That was a lot of stuff, but I feel like, again, like our box is a little bit big right now, but we're still in it.
It doesn't require careful thinking, and if we had gotten tripped up, we would have reverted.
Yeah, we absolutely would have reverted. Use cell instead of index. Okay, so I feel like that was nicer, by the way.
Yeah.
Like that was a good fix. So now let's do it with the other one.
I wanted to go further, since we know how to do this already. There's a keystroke to go to the next error in.
There is. Let's find out what that is. No, it's not in Crunch. That's the problem. You want to go to the next one in Resharper. It's Resharper that's showing us the errors, not in Crunch.
Well, but both will do it. I thought it was Alt-Shift page down, but that is doing something different in remote desktop. Let me try it like that. There we go.
What just happened on your key typing thingies?
So Alt-Shift page down is the Resharper go to next error.
Okay.
But it is also the remote desktop switch windows.
Okay.
So I went full screen, which is Control break, and then Alt-Shift page down, and then I popped out of full screen again.
So let's go fix that.
Cell.
Fix that.
We'll have a lot of these.
Fix that. Fix that. Fix that. That's just going to become cell 2. To keep it index 2 for right now. Just change it to index2.row. And the other one to index2.row. And then the other one to row 2. And then that to row 2. We're going to fix this stuff up in a second. And then here, dot to index. To index. It looks like it does. Commit that. And then rename to index to cell 2. Okay, and then can we change, or I'm not sure all the places where this is being used, but the row 1 equals row 2, that is going to be cell 1 dot is same row. Cell 2. Otherwise, it's going to be cell 1 dot is same column. There we go. And then what I would do is just inline. Actually, it's weird. Row 2 is still being used somewhere. Scroll down. Oh, okay. I would just inline those things.
All the row 1, row 2.
Yeah.
These 4 variables.
Why do they really exist? And do we have a descriptor for row, column, and block? I feel like we do. Go check our cell thing. We have a toString there. But scroll up more. I guess we don't. Feels like we've printed this stuff before.
There's this thing.
Yeah, that's not it either. All right, go back. So actually scroll down a little bit. Here we have a row. And then we have this guessing, scroll over.
It's got to be in here somewhere. There it is.
Yeah, that's okay, whatever. We'll just leave that. That's not the important part right now, and definitely not the thing I want to mess with. Okay, so now let's... Okay, this temp row...
The only thing... No, it's getting...
So here... What is this doing? This is setting the value in our Sudoku board of but it's doing it in a loop. What state?
We get state and final state passed in.
Yeah, but okay. I mean,
does state get used after this?
no.
No. But
Yes.
it is populated here and then past there and then past there. Okay.
Okay. I still really dislike this, but I don't know what to do with it. And that's obviously a row and a value.
I think we can early return here. Get a guard clause.
Okay. I'm good with that. This if block on 151, can we pull that out?
On where? What? 251? Here?
Yeah, that whole thing, even up to this string description on 49. It's like get description. Sure. Scroll up a little bit. The get description, where's description being used? We can just push that directly into 246 now. That's nice.
Did I do the right thing?
All right, so at the very least, like this method now fits on a screen, which makes me happier. State indexes and values dot element of gives us all the things in here. Where's that position coming from? Oh, because we're just choosing a random one. And then we do stuff on this random thing. I'm still not sure what this loop does. But whatever it does, it sets stuff on the board, right? Yeah, so this is what it does. So pull out that for an applesauce state. Wait. So 249 to 256 is the things where this is the actual logic of what's occurring, right? Like the first thing that's happening is We're early returning. And then the next thing is we're choosing a random thing, right? And then, like, this is the thing it does in general, where it's just like get random. In fact, I'd love to pull that out and actually make that. Can you pull out those? Okay, do this. We'll just do alternative implementation. We're in a clean place. Make me an extension method. Class thingy. You can do your underscore stuffs. There we go. And I want it to, it's going to be called get random index. And this is going to be an enumerable of t. So you have to put the t after the get random index. It's going to return a t. And source, there you go. And then what it's going to do is it's going to return source.elementAt, and then go up to the place. Oh, I guess we need to pass in a random to it. Yeah. And then the max value is going to be source dot.
You want, where is it?
Count.
Which is it?
This might be a list, not an enumerable. And then this whole thing just becomes, no, delete that. Delete the next one. And then instead of element at, it's going to be dot random. Get random index. Yeah.
It's not get random index, it's get random element.
Very good point.
Could have done that with safe refactoring.
Probably.
I'm still sure that this can collapse to something simpler.
I think that 48 through 49 can collapse. Or 48 through 58. This is the part. So pull this out as applesauce 3. Do something to cells. Or to final state. Or I don't know. Whatever. The fact that it has applesauce in it. But whatever applesauce 1 is, applesauce 3 is where we actually do that. Does that make sense? Like everything else around here is just...
Boilerplate.
Yeah. There. That's a...
That's good code.
A better name? It is a better name, I believe.
Better.
Like, it's technically correct. The best type of correct. Okay, so let's go see how applesauce 1 is called and see what's going on with that. So what I really don't like about this is it mutates so much stuff. Right? Like it's not... So we get this candidate of index and digits. And then we choose one of those candidates of index and digits. And we're doing whatever applesauce 2 is. Wait, what's applesauce 1?
Applesauce 1 was already just partied. Applesauce 2 we have not cleaned up yet.
But where's applesauce 1 being called?
Right here.
Ah.
So in the top method, it goes 2 and then 1. Is that what's confusing you?
Yeah, it is a little bit. But so applesauce 1 now is, this is the part where we actually modify the board, I believe, right? Go into applesauce 2 and just take a look at Sudoku board for a second. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely this needs to get cleaned. Sorry, is it?
There it is.
Oh, it is.
Set value. There we go.
So it is modifying the board. So I'm just going to say it again. Applesauce 2 is modifying the board. All right. And applesauce 1 is also modifying the board. Why are both of these modifying the board? I don't know. All right. Do you have a better idea for the name of applesauce 1?
No, I don't get it.
Okay, let's go into that do something for applesauce 1 and see if we can understand what this is from what it actually does. Can you format that better? Oh, that's word wrap doing that.
It is. But I really like,
I do too,
1 per line, and I shouldn't be editing this by hand. I should go find the setting
that does that if it's too big. If it all fits on one line, I'm super happy with that. But if it doesn't, then do this. Okay, well, first of all, this is obviously in the wrong order. So let's move Sudoku board up.
You know, it doesn't need to mutate state. It just needs to write the value
But
here.
it is mutating the state.
Like, if we put that there, does that still work?
Well, that...
No.
Wait, what?
That did not work.
No, yeah, because it's only mutating part of the state.
Okay.
Right? And the weird part of here is I feel like it's overwriting, like it's...
Oh, I didn't even realize that I had done that. I changed the order by bumping into a keystroke.
Are we in a happy, safe place again?
Yeah.
All right, let's go back to this place where we're doing stuff. So what I really want to understand is what this loop does. Right? So we go from 0 to the length of the state. This is really just going through the state. No, it's not. It's going through the indexes of the state. Gets a temp row and a temp column. And which is always going to be between... Wait. So let's assume the state... No. I mean, the question I have is sort of how big is the state here? Oh, it's the whole board. Can you put a breakpoint? Or just do this. Let's check my assumption. On line 262, debug and check that the length state is 81. I think it is. So I think this is like an entire board. Yeah. And so what this is doing is it's setting the entire board to state. So so let's extract this method 264 to here. Yeah. No. Yeah, no, we're going to say set all values of board. Set. And then move that onto Sudoku board.
Your Nazi in the background.
There we go. Hold on a second. All right. So now I know what it's actually doing. We're setting these two values here, and then we're setting the values of the entire Sudoku board, which I'm still very curious if we could just set those two values, right?
So we could try undoing that last one and then rewriting the function as set just the cell one.
Now, I still want to keep this pulled out because it now helps me understand this. But let's do this. So now on 263, do Sudoku board dot set value and take it from final state. So you're going to say cell 1 and then final state, yeah. Why is that unhappy?
Type something wrong. There's one that takes, you have to create a set value takes, we have the wrong API.
Cell. Oh.
But the quick way to get there is
row, yeah. Column there.
Do the same thing with 2.
Yeah. I mean, actually, to make this more of an actual thing, do it after we do the set all values of board.
Okay.
Because
we're hoping we can remove line 63.
No, but we weren't even green before that. Unremove that?
This is green.
No, it's not. It's red. Oh, it is green. Okay, and now, so those are, yeah, because those are the...
We could remove these two.
No, because they will percolate. So now do 160, delete 263.
That doesn't work.
Why not? So let's go find out what else is getting set in state.
I want to just try this and let the robot tell us. Yeah.
Wait, what? Okay, now take out 263.
This will fit.
No, still doesn't work. So what's happening to state before it gets to here?
So there's state. It's just passed in here.
Yeah.
I mean, this function now does no work.
Good.
It selects an element.
Which I'm very happy about that.
And then it prints out.
Yeah. The other thing is
log.
the thing that does the work. So...
Do you want to go look more at state, or you got what you need?
I mean, I do, but not right now. Let's go back to this. Do something to cells for applesauce. So you're saying we can do that? I don't understand why that works. Oh, applesauce 1 is the last thing we do, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the reason this works okay, these two lines that we've commented out, or these two lines that we're doing on 64 and 65, I need a way of describing this in English. We're swapping cells 1 and cells 2.
It's applying final state values for cell 1 and cell 2.
Great. Write that on line 255. Rename this to apply. No, 255. Yeah. Apply final state values for cell 1 and cell 2.
Cells 1 and 2.
Cells 1 and 2. And I put an underscore in between here and apply all of state to the Sudoku board. Okay, hold on. So, rename that. Do a commit. I think I have a better name. Try merge the state with the values of the final state from cells 1 and 2. Why did you choose to lowercase the and? Was that intentional or?
It was, but I don't have a good reason.
Okay. And now let's delete 261 and 262 because those are no longer. And now like what it does and what the name is are at least in alignment. So now let's copy that line. Like the merge cells with states of final, and go up to the thing that calls it and rename applesauce 1 to this for possible element.
And log or something?
And
Do we
log,
care about
sure.
that?
I'm good with that. Okay. That's better. So now, like the question that comes into my head a lot is going into this, I'm very curious about state now, right? Because state is doing more than I thought it is because it's obviously changing the Sudoku board, right? Like state does not equal the Sudoku board because if we comment out set all values of board for the state, it fails. So state is now different than the Sudoku board, but I don't understand why. I don't understand how. I would have thought that this is sort of like, hey, you have this final state, you choose two things. I get that, like, the whole idea here is that, like, we have a deadlock thing and we do a thing, right? But apparently we're doing more than that. Because look, here it says, guessing that digit 1 and 2 are arbitrary in the multiple solutions, and we're picking this one and this one. Right? But we're doing more than that. And you know what I kind of want to do is, Go to 260 or 260. Put a breakpoint on 261 and let's debug into this. I want to know how the Sudoku board changes based on the state. Not sure this is going to be exactly the right way to do it, but so do we have some way of printing this nicely? Can we, like, we have a 2-string on Sudoku board. Can we?
Oh, that's great.
That's really great. Any way to do that without the /ns? Oh.
No, that's not better.
No, open it in Notepad++ and swap your /ns to.
There's supposed to be, should be a way to do it, but there is not. Okay.
Or you can open it in VS Code. That would also work well. Extended. There we go. Okay, and then make another one and step over here and do it again.
Oh, that just worked. That's better. We have the positions here. We're looking, and I guess we don't. Okay, what's the difference here?
Well, some things are not filled in that were filled in. How? But here, everything is filled in. Oh, I think I know what's happening. I think it's mutating the Sudoku board up there when it doesn't want to. I mean, want to is a strong word. Probably what it wants to do is like make a copy of the Sudoku board, do its stuff, and then throw it away and just do this to swap thing, right? But I think what line 261 is and can we actually put a comment here? Reset the Sudoku board to the initial state. I think that's what's going on here. And then the actual thing that we're trying to do is lines 263 and 264. Can we put something in that comment to like indicate that this is a bit of a guess? There we go. Beautiful. Okay, so now if we go to Applesauce 2, that's where we start next week.
That comment looks still relevant.
Well, it does, but I'd actually move it into Applesauce 2. And under clean up this method, say try to make it not mutate the Sudoku board.
So we can simplify the other one.
Can simplify it.
What was the other comment we wrote?
Do we have any other? Yeah. That's valid.
That's just comments.
Why did, oh, that's just a line wrap. All right. I think that's good. While we're here, let's push the branch. Can we see how long this total method is now? I think it started around 300 lines. And I feel like we've cleaned up a lot, and it's still 300 lines. There we go.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I mean, this is overhead, right? These aren't really lines of
I feel
code.
like we use that in multiple places too. So at some point when we move that out, we should actually, like, this is not the only place where we're getting a random element. But if we go up, this is somewhat readable. The thing above it is definitely readable. The thing above it is completely readable, even though it's weird.
We don't need this variable.
Oh yeah. Early returns. We can get rid of that. And then you can get rid of those else. Beautiful. Did you push or publish?
Yeah, I already pushed.
All right.
All up to date.
All right. Nice. This was cleaning applesauce. It was cleaning that swap two rows or choose two. So just from a pattern recognition thing in the domain, I noticed it was like a day to do the first third of this, a day to do the second third. I know that this is going to get me in trouble, but I still feel like it's going to be one day to do the remaining third. But anyhow, let me get that into the map, because there's an estimating technique called yesterday's weather, right? Which basically says, like, whatever you did yesterday is probably what you're going to end up doing today. And, this is like a Bayesian algorithm, which, works really well in a lot of places and has some really potentially huge flaws, as evidenced by anybody who made a prediction for 2020. Or more commonly thought of as the turkey algorithm, which is like the day before Thanksgiving, the turkey is like, every single day the farmer takes care of me and feeds me. Tomorrow will be the same. But either way, it feels like we're doing about a third of this a time, which is about 100 lines an hour, which actually is really good. Cleaning 100 lines an hour is really good. That's more than a line a minute.
Yep.
Am I lost right now, or should we put some of this in the thing?
Yeah. What should we write here?
So let's do domain one third a session. There's which is 100 lines an hour, which is pretty good. There we go. The other thing that's interesting about what we're doing here is most of what we're doing is removing primitive obsession. I really want that to be primitive and not primate. Like so much of what we were looking at when we start this is just numbers. Do this math, do this math, do this math. And now we have concepts. Like take these cells and swap them, or take these cells and get the rows, or even that for loop, which was driving me insane, pulling it in to just say, sync the entire board to this. That was really helpful. Right? Because up until that point, I was just like, well, there's stuff happening with math, and I'm not sure. Right? Like, and so we're doing primitive accession, meaning like objects, not numbers. But that's not the thing that's important to me. What's important to me here is its concepts, not functions, sequences.
Mechanism.
Have you seen Felina's example of the... Did I show you that? Her example of the long-term memory?
I don't know.
So, let's see here. Can I see myself on Twitter? Let's see. Yeah, I do lots of tweeting. Okay, but that's so not what I wanted to do. Let me try this again. Control F. No. Can you do a search in here for Felina, F-E-L? Scroll down a lot then. And yeah, now it showed up. So now when you do a search, find it.
I don't know where it is. Safely. Right? F-E-L-I?
That doesn't sound right. Oh, there, yeah. And then...
And it's your goal to remember the sentence. So you have to pay attention and try to really imagine that you have to read the sentence aloud. And you'll write it on a piece of paper. Like this is
but this is actually not...
Are you ready?
Exactly what I want.
This is impossible. This is unfair. I can never do that.
This is what I'm trying to get to. So she does this example right here. This is an excellent talk. This is a professor out of Rotterdam in the Netherlands, and she's been doing a lot of studying on teaching kids to program and like different mechanisms of thinking and modeling in the brain. And one of the reasons where a lot of times things that seem obvious to us are really confusing for kids. And here she has this different forms of confusion. And she starts with like some APL, right? Which, like, this is really simple, right? Like 22222 TN, right? But it means nothing, right? Because if you're unfamiliar with APL, the confusion isn't that you don't understand the letters. It's you have no idea what these letters mean.
Mm-hmm.
And then if we move this to like Python, right? If you understand Python, like this, like if you're into list comprehensions, you can be like, oh yeah, that's pretty straightforward, right? But if you don't, there's so many things here, right? That it's like, I need to know like all these different patterns. Like, but if you know the pattern, then you're just like, oh, this is a list comprehension, right? And then here, if we go to basic, well, now I know all the stuff, and there isn't a pattern to see. But the problem and the confusion is, even though I know the individual steps, understanding what the whole thing like conceptually does is what's hard. And I feel like it's this problem that we were dealing with today, right? Like we knew what the individual steps did, but we weren't able to come together and say, but this is what it means. This is the importance. This is the intent. And so when we are looking at this removing primitive session, a lot of times we just think of it as like objects, not numbers, right? Like, hey, instead of passing around 2 ints, let's pass around cells, or instead of passing around the index, pass around the cell. But the thing that's like really been important for me today was we had a lot of mechanics, and now we have concepts.
Mm-hmm.
And that removing of the primitive of session is really related to that.
So there's for me, primitive obsession is about types, mostly ints and strings, but
Yeah.
there are plenty more. Once you get the ints and strings out of the way, you discover more. And then the like statements that are manipulating data structures and looping are the mechanism, and the missing concept is an extracted method. And I don't usually call that primitive obsession. And maybe I want to, but that's not my term already. It's about levels
I
of
agree with what
abstraction.
you're saying. Normally when I'm thinking primitive session, I'm thinking types, right? Like objects, not numbers is types.
Yeah.
But and we did a lot of that today, right? Mainly removing ints with cells.
That's true. We propagated an existing type. We didn't introduce a new type to the system, but
we're using the new type.
Just one. Yeah. There's a compose method, refactoring, which is given a method that's all mechanism, extract a bunch of methods to bring it up to a higher level of abstraction so it's readable.
Yeah.
And then there's the design principle that all the statements in a method should be at the same level of abstraction. Those two go together.
Yep.
And I think both of those as being about concepts, not mechanism.
Agreed.
Part of the primitive obsession idea is about creating new ways to organize the code. So today we propagated use of cell. We didn't introduce a new concept.
Oh no, we did though. But like we put things onto cell. Like we enriched that, right? So we have like is same row, is same column, which we used almost right away. Although I originally pulled out simply because I misread. Oh, so okay, so this is like a pattern that is missing in so many places that I look, right? Which is like remove annoyance. And I don't know how to spell annoyance. That's annoying. Remove pain. But like, so here, the pain for me, right, was like, I misread the if clause. Right? So this was the situation where we had the, like, row equals row. I thought it was and. Very specifically, what I thought I was reading was column equals column and block equals block. Like that's what I thought was happening, right? But that is not what was happening. What was happening was ors. And this is just a very different statement, but when you look at these two statements, they kind of look the same to me, right? And so I was annoyed at myself that I misread it. Right? Which I think in like this is really common. Like when you make a mistake, you feel a bit stupid and you're like, oh yeah. But rather than saying, "Oh man, Llewellyn, be better," I'm like, I want to remove making that. I want to make it so I don't have to be better. Like I want to be able to be lazy and stupid and still get the right answer. Right? And so because I had that pain, like that's where we switched it to is same row or is same column, which is much easier to see the ors in here because the equals, and it sounds stupid, but it's true.
Less punctuation.
And also, like, when I misread it with the ands, there's a part of me that just wanted to reduce that to like, oh, just check it's the same cell, right? Because if it's the same, but it's not at all what it's trying to say. So, oh, not what I meant to do. Is same block. So that pattern, what I see a lot is a lot of times when people do feel some kind of annoyance or pain or anything that's bothering them, they don't take that as a signal from your body to say, this is something I need to fix. They take it as a, how do I not feel this again? Which I guess is but it's a different thing, right? Like, how do I not trip versus how do I make it so there's not something to trip over is a very different thing. And I think it's actually really valuable that your body is sending that information to you saying, this is a thing that you need to fix. Like, not a piece of you that needs to get better, a piece of the system that needs your attention.
Yeah. I want to be this. You're talking about feeling dumb. I want to be the same amount of smart next time and not run into this problem.
Yes. Yeah. That is a much nicer way of saying it. You are a much nicer person than me.
I'm trying to learn how.
Other things from today.
I don't know. Felt good. I felt like more aware of what was going on today. Sometimes I'm so full of typing. I don't have much brain capacity for other stuff. And I felt like I understood a bit more today. I don't know why that is.
I mean, one reason it could be. So there was one thing you did that it was very impressive in the moment, where I was doing a renaming and I got the wrong name and you're like, that's not this, it's this. Mm-hmm. Right? Which means, like, not only are you typing, but you're understanding, and you're understanding at a level that you are able to, like, not only like comprehend what the navigator is navigating, but then navigate the navigator. Mm. Right? Which is fantastic. Like, that's really hard to do. There's also a lot of times where I don't want to say I felt slower, because I don't think that's quite the right phrasing, but there was a lot of times where I was really struggling to get a concept. Right? Where it's like, I need the English for this, or like, what's the English? I was asking those kind of questions. Mm-hmm. And that A is creating that space for you to answer those questions. And B, like just the asking. Like, it's pushing you up that level of abstraction. I'm not doing it to, like, help you feel, like, more comfortable, actually. I didn't know the answers. But it is a nice side effect.
So one thing we should mention for folks watching is, when you are typing, don't feel like you should be able to do that thing of offering up more ideas while typing. But the fact that I was able to do it is kind of,
it's really advanced.
So don't hold yourself to that as a standard.
I feel like I've been watching a lock-picking lawyer on YouTube, and everything he does looks so simple. And then when I try to do any of it, it's like, it's so hard. Yeah, but there is that element of, like, Like, A, you're really good at this, but also you're really practiced at this.
Practice.
Yeah.
There's a line from where he's in Language Hunting, which is, "I'm not a genius, I'm a veteran." It's not something special about me. I've just been doing this for a while.
That is a fantastic quote. I am not spelling either of these words right. That's from Willem?
Yeah. I'm trying to...
Language
I
Hunters.
learned it via Willem. I don't know if Willem figured it out or Evan did, but it was a long time ago.
Via Language Hunters. But I absolutely love that. That's a great quote. No. Yeah. There we go. Go with that. That's what we want to do. Anything else for today?
No, that's it.
All right. That sounds good. I'll see you next week.
Bye.